China's also grown quite fond of robots. That's why the makers of the bots are betting their future on the Chinese mainland market. Zhang explains.
This digital screen reminds factory workers how many robots they have to make every day, week, and month. The growing customer demand here is one reason the company opened its first ever factory outside its German home base.
The biggest problem is that importing robots from Europe is very time-consuming, given that the demand here is so big, and customers are asking for an even shorter transportation period. So we opened a factory in Shanghai.
A robotics industry organization says Chinese companies bought around 25,000 industrial robots last year. That's a 12% growth over 2012. One reason is that while the Chinese automobile industry buys nearly half the robots, sales to non-auto manufacturers grow by 22% last year.
Besides the auto industry, some others such as electronic equipment makers, foundries, food and drink makers, and machine tool manufacturers are all buying a lot of robots.
KUKA's biggest rival has also tried to localize its business in China. ABB opened a research and development center in 2005 and says it will invest 2 billion yuan in a production center in the southeastern Chinese city of Xiamen. Overseas business giants accounted for 90% of the robots sold here last year, but the Chinese government let them eat up the entire market. Robot expert Xu Chuan returned to China last year after 11 years in Japan. He says China is now doing more government-sponsored robotics research than it did when he left.
In the past, research results barely met the demand from the companies. Now China is beginning to encourage enterprises and universities to work closely to develop robots by investing at least 10 million yuan in every research project.
A Chinese industrial research company said there were an estimated 120,000 industrial robots in China last year, more than any other country except Japan and the United States. Some analysts predict that China will be #1 in terms of robots in use by 2016. Zhang, ICS4 CCTV, Shanghai.